All right. And then as you make your way to your mat, first things first, we're going to take that nice yawning, reaching stretch. So stretch your arms up, spread your fingers, lift your toes, spread your toes, take an inhale, and just get that nice yawn and reach like you're just getting started. First thing this morning, stretch up the tube of your waist. And then as you exhale, let it all go and take it into a light little bounce just to kind of rev up the engine. Notice your breath. Notice how your body's feeling this morning. And then when you're ready for it, we're going to take it right into cross crawl, opposite hand to opposite knee. And go for like a light pace, something that just kind of gets you started, but allows you that sort of time to tune in. Because when we do some of the work today, it's going to be quick but light. It's meant to rev up the fascial system and get it kind of feeling more stimulated and a little bit more alive. But we want to always move at the speed of trust. We'll make small rhythmic movements that'll help wake up the tissue and improve circulation, but we're not trying to like get a sweat, and we're not trying to like muscle it. So it's going to feel, I'll say sometimes athletic, but not like you're a powerhouse boxer. Think more that just you're light on your feet and you can just fly off to anywhere. All right, take one more moment here. And then take it into some light bouncy calf raises. You just want to come up and down, shoot for like half range of motion, a little bit of control, bringing a little bit of heat into the feet, the ankles, and the calves. And then you're going to see if you can pick up the pace a little bit, but still keep with that sort of calf raise motion versus our bounce. Five seconds left. All right, now we're going to take it into like mini squats, but bouncy. So you're going to come up and down, and it's not going full range of motion. It's getting your quads to go and fire up and then come back down. So we got 30 seconds of work, and then you're going to pick up the pace. Keep your chest and your chin lifted. Just a little bend of the knees. Keep breathing in and out through your nose best you can. Mar, your bus is going to be rocking. We're getting really bouncy today, so tell Chris to, get into the vibration of it. All right, that's time. Now we're going to take it right into a glute back. So you're going to slide one leg back, but it's slightly abducted. So it's a little out to the side, and you want to feel like that butt muscle is nice and firm. And once you've got that nice firm butt muscle, start to pump your arms. It's a fast and speedy work. You still want to move at the speed of trust. You want to keep that butt muscle nice and firm so you get this nice lively work coming in the upper body. Check in with your breath. Keep that butt muscle squeezing. 5 more seconds, and then we're just going to switch the legs. All right, when you're ready, switch, get that other leg back, squeeze that butt muscle, keep your bottom half nice and firm, and then let that top half fly. Four seconds left. All right, that's time. Ooh, take a second, just slow it down. Take a slower breath. So when we do this work, it's going to be like just a natural breath, especially when we're doing the movement stuff. And then you want to take a slightly slower breath on the in-between. So now we're going to come back to our bouncing, but just proper good bouncing. Get your whole body bouncing. You want to feel that bounce in your breath. From your toes up to, you want to feel like your hair bounces just a little bit. And then open up your armpits, get your armpits bouncing just a little bit. Now, 10 more seconds of this, and then we're going to go bounce and fold. But if your PT or your doc, especially if you've got any osteo stuff going on, if your PT or your doc says you can't bounce and fold at the same time, just do one or the other. Stay with just the bounce or add that bounce and fold. So we're going to bounce, fold down towards your feet, and then bounce and come back up. And how you go with your spine, maybe you roll, maybe you keep a slightly more flat, straight spine. So go for the one that just kind of feels good. Don't worry about it being perfect. There's no right or wrong as long as you don't hurt yourself. 10 seconds left. All right, take a second, come back up, shake out your legs. Give it just a moment to have that slower breath come back in. We're gonna do 50 jumps, fun jumps. I'm gonna say turn yourself around, kick a leg, move your arms, anything that feels good, but all you gotta do is 50 jumps. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Whew, and you're done. All right, now we're going to come down in prone position. Here's where you might want a pillow underneath your front, because that's going to be the softest tool. The rolled up blanket would land pubic bone and sternum, and that's going to be a firmer tool. So it might just feel like, what's the sensation you're shooting for today? I played with them both earlier. Personally, I like the pillow just a little bit better for this particular work. So you're going to come down. We're going to go T arms. So you want the pillow or your rolled up blanket to be supporting underneath the hips and underneath your chest. And then you want your arms to come out so that they're in T position. And then we're going to start to fly. So you're going to flutter those arms up and down. I'm saying fast and furious, but it's not about muscle. So you don't want to feel like you're just kind of ooping it into the armpit chest muscle or upper back body muscles. You want to feel like there's just a light springiness to your movement. Notice your breath. All right, now lift up into just a gentle back extension hold for just a second. Lower all the way back down. Take a breath. And then come back to that lift and hover and flutter your arms up and down. Last 20 seconds, fast and furious, going as fast as you feel good about, or move at the speed of trust. Some positions, just body depending, some positions you just might want to make adjustments to your speed so it feels good to your body. 5 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, bring your arms in for a second. Notice, relax all your back muscles that you can. Even let your chin tuck down and take a nice big breath. Occasionally you're going to see me lift my head and such just because I'm speaking out to you. But just know, take a second, let everything soften, let everything relax. And now we're going to go same side, same leg, or same arm, same leg. So stretch your right arm out and your right leg long, and you're going to pick it up and you're going to start to find a little swim and a hover. So you're going to get those limbs getting that little bounce as if they're going for a little swim. Flutter the limbs. You're going to feel your butt muscle working a little bit, but you want to keep it light and bouncy. I'm a little tilted off to the left as I use those two limbs. So just know that there's a little tilt that might happen. Allow it to just be a little bit supportive, and don't worry about it looking perfect. It's not going to try to look like anything. It's just going to try to bounce and flutter and fly. All right, when you're ready, set it down, switch it over to the other side, extend those limbs out, and see if you can get them to bounce. Ten seconds left. Nice job. And time. Take a second, let everything soften. Take a nice big breath. Now we're going to come up tabletop position. Here's one of the places where a firmer tool might feel a little bit more beneficial because of the way that it presses against the forearms. So pillow might be too soft. Roll of blanket or towel might feel really nice. Foam roller might feel nice and firm. Pick your tool. It's going to go underneath the forearms, and we're going to do the chop. So the first 20 seconds, first things first, get your table nice and sturdy. Fast and furious motion, but it's a chop. So you're just chopping your hands like you're doing those little karate chops. So you're just going to move the wrist. So think thumbs up, palms facing in, and just find that nice little chopping motion. You're compressing the forearm fascia, and then you're moving and bouncing the fascia around the wrist. 5 more seconds. And then we're going to take it into a fist, but roll your wrist and your fist in circles and go as fast as you can, fast and furious. Ten more seconds going in this direction, fast as you can. Don't worry about them being perfect circles. Just get that speed going on, that light bounciness. All right, reverse directions, go the other way. You want to go for safety over intensity. So always move at the pace that feels just right to your body. Let your body set the pace. You got 10 seconds left. And time, nicely done. All right, come up to your tabletop position. It's going to be a hovering table. You're going to lift up, lower the knees, bird dog, bird dog. So hands, and then this one, just a normal pace. No fast and furious for this one. Just getting the wrists a little bit engaged and lifting and working the core muscles. So you're going to lift your knees up, hover your table, float them down. Bird dog, opposite hand, opposite foot, come out. Other side, come back in, lift your knees back up, hover your table, and that's the work. Alternate between those three moves. Opposite arm, opposite leg, opposite arm, opposite leg, and then lift and hover. You got it. As always in our tabletop positions, we want to watch our head position. So just make sure you're not looking at your knees. Look towards the towel underneath your hands, the foam roller underneath your hands, or look slightly ahead of your hands. And then for anybody who's got like mischievous wrists, especially if you just go flat on the ground, move your wrists a little bit forward so that they're slightly ahead of your shoulders. Nice work. We've got 10 seconds left here. To tell you where we're heading next, it'll be a side planking position, and then we'll do a little bouncy side work. So for some of us, it might feel good to have no prop underneath our hands. And for some of us, the foam roller or the roll of blanket. The pillow might be just a little too soft. So we're going to start by finding a knee down side plank position. Hand on the towel if that feels good. Arm is going to go up and over. Want that stretched out feeling. So you want to feel like your hand is reaching up and over and you're getting a little side body stretch. That's the starting position. And then you're going to go up and down with a little bit of bounce. You want to feel like your side body is just springing into action and then coming back to that stretched out point. We got 30 seconds on this side. Lively, bouncy, not muscling into it, but finding this sort of just energetic bounce. Small rhythmic movement. Check in with your breath. Move at the speed of trust. Five seconds left on this side. All right, stretch it out real quick. Put that foot on the ground, stretch your arm up, get that nice big side body stretch. And then come up and out. We're flipping it over to the other side. Spin yourself around in a way that makes good sense. Take your tool along for the ride if you like to. Support your wrist. And then we find that knee down side plank position first. Then we find that side stretch position. So you want to feel like there's all that bit of space down the side of your waist and inside of the ribs. And then we find the bouncy movement. Taking it to that pace that feels good to your body. Not the next move, but the move after. We're going to be doing a little bit of breathing work. And if you're like, I don't like breathing work, then you can just sit there and chill and just breathe normally and naturally. The breathing work is meant to pump the diaphragm. So for my yoga friends, we call it Kapalabhati breathing, and we just get a sort of pump going on. All right, that's time. Take a second. Oops. Take a second and just take that nice, big, long reaching stretch. And then come out nice and slow. All right, now we're going to take our roll, whatever you want, the foam roller, the rolled up blanket, or your pillow, and it's going to kind of wedge into your low back tailbone. So you want it wedged in so you can kind of lean back and it feels like it offers you just that nice, comfortable touch of support. Yesterday we did punching with our fist. Today we're going to be open fingered, and you want to think in karate or martial arts moves, you're jabbing the guy in the eyes, which is not very nice. But You're going to jab, 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 and you're going to get a little twisting motion, and you're going to lean back, and you're going to jab, 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 jab. So there's rotation. There's a little bit of lean back so you get the core muscles to work. We're just engaging those core muscles. We got 1 minute on the clock. We'll take a slight break in the middle. Spread your fingers. Get that little twisting, but it's fast and furious, or small and rhythmic, however you want to think of it. On this one here, if your back tends towards a little mischief, just be mindful about how you go. Get that blanket and that pillow wedged in so you feel safe in the low back. You can get that lively movement in the upper body. All right, take a second, catch hold of your knees, take a little cat-cow. Inhale, stretch your heart. Exhale, round your back. And then when you're ready, come back up to that nice long spine, lean back, and away we go. So we have these fascial lines across that front of our abdomen. So we're just trying to give them a little bit of stimulation and novel movement. All right, now if it feels good, you're going to sit your butt onto your roll, your pillow, or whatever tool feels good where you can come into a comfortable crisscross applesauce seat. And then your hand's going to find the solar plexus. So above the belly button, but below the rib cage. We're going to do a pumping breath. So we have a forceful exhalation. Think like you're blowing a fruit fly out of your nose, and then you just let the air come back in. But we go for a quicker pace because we're just trying to stimulate that line of fascia that's coming right through the front. So I like hands to the solar plexus so I can feel that pump. And you're just going to start to breathe in and out through your nose, like you're pushing a fruit fly out of your nose and then letting the breath come back in. If you get here and you're like, I don't like that work, just breathe naturally, let your breath come in. Otherwise, get that last pump going on. We got about 10 seconds left. All right, take a second, take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. We're going to take one abdominal vacuum. So we're going to just fix our feet a little bit. So dorsiflex your feet, and the knees are going to come into a lifted position. Fingertips pointing inward, hands to the insides of the knees push into the hands push into the knees, and we create that hula hooping frame. Think wide, proud shoulders, air out your armpits, a little double tuck of the chin, or think roll the ball of your head so the crown of your head is lifted and your eyes are forward, gaze on the horizon. Take a nice big in-breath, 360 breath, fill your rib cage up. Exhale, lengthen the tube of your waist without puffing up your chest. So keep the rib cage down as you lengthen the tube of your waist. And then when you're ready, take another in-breath, 360 breath, fill your rib cage up. Exhale, get those wide, proud shoulders, lengthen the tube of your waist. Last breath here, take a vacuum if you like. Inhale, 360 breath, fill your rib cage up. Try to maintain that expanded shape of the rib cage as you exhale, prepare, swallow, close off nose, mouth, and throat, or pinch your nose closed, keep your mouth closed. Take a fake inhalation. Don't let any air come in, and hold your breath for a moment. You want that hollowing out underneath the rib cage, and the rib cage lifts, opens, and expands. Hold breath for one more second if you can. And then when you're ready, release everything. And now we're going to come down onto our back. I'll say either rolled up towel length of the spine, really nice way to get some good engagement and challenge your core work, or go for the pillow, which gives you that broader, softer support and just kind of feels really nice. Choose the tool that feels good. I did the pillow for the front part, so I'm going to do my rolled up blanket for the second part. When we come down onto the towel or the rolled up blanket or your pillow, take a second to just make sure it feels like it's supportive underneath your back. We're going to widen our stance. We're going to take feet on the ground, Pilates 100s with our body on our soft tool. So find your tool, get comfortable first, make sure you feel stable. And then you're going to gently press the belly button towards the spine. Cervical nod, lift your sternum, and start to pump your arms. Inhale for a count of 5. And exhale through your mouth for a count of 5. 10 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Slowly return back to that low position. You're going to slide your legs a little bit long, stretch your arms up above your head, flex your feet, spread your fingers, take that yawning, reaching stretch. And then we're going to take 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other of some starfish crunches, but we're going to stay on our roll. So if you get there and you're like the roll of blanket or towel is too wobbly, put your pillow underneath you. We're going to go soft in the middle, stretch it out at the end points. So as you come in, opposite hand to opposite foot, bent knee, soft arm, and then stretch out, point your toe and spread your fingers at the end point. Come in, soft in the middle, and then stretch it out at the end. Come in soft in the middle, and then stretch it out at the end. You've got it. Exhale as you come in, and inhale as you stretch it out. Think yawning stretch. All right, and when you're ready, we're switching sides. Step that right leg in, left arm comes to a nice supportive position. We go out to the ends, we come in, soft in the middle, and then stretch it out. Spread your fingers, point your toes. We got 30 seconds of work. Exhale as you come in, and inhale as you stretch it out and away. Beautiful work. 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. All right, now we're going to take it into a little bit of inner thigh. Oh, no, I say that wrong. Stay on your rolled up towel. We got one more move here. Now we get to fly like a butterfly again. So now arms are going to come out, T position, palms facing up, and you're going to start to flutter your arms. Same thing here. We want this light, lively movement. It's not about muscling into it. It's energetic. It's a little bit athletic. But think light as a feather versus really muscly. So just get that flutter going on. Make sure you feel like you're working at a good speed that makes good sense to your body. All right, let your arms rest for just a second. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, come back up, find that hover position, and flutter your arms. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just find a pace that makes sense, that light and lively action. Think about it like you're stimulating the waters of your body and just getting them to pump and move. So almost think about it as if you just kind of slap the water in the pool and you just get it to start to create its own waves. All right, take a second, stretch your arms out, take a breath. And now we're coming on off to one side, and we're going to adjust your roll or your supportive tool so that it kind of wedges into the side of your butt just a little bit so that you can start to find, you're going to go inner thigh side lift, but we're going to go for hold it up and then get a little bit of a flutter going on. Very similar to the work that you were just doing with your arms. There's a line of fascia on the inside of your inner thigh that connects to your abdominal line of fascia. So we're just kind of stimulating that nice crystal jelly matrix of your inner thigh. As Liz and I discovered, we have one leg that may be a little dumb, doesn't do what you want it to do. So don't worry about it being perfect. Just find that light and lively action. All right, when you're ready, let that leg rest for just a second. Slow, deep breath. And then we're flipping it around to the other side. Come around in a way that makes good sense. Get your tool adjusted so it feels nice and helps just kind of support the side of the hip, side of your waist. Supportive leg. That inside leg is going to be lifted in that hover position, and then you're going to find a little pace. We're waking up the tissues, we're improving our circulation, and we're bringing just a little bit more responsiveness into our chest, our shoulders, our upper back, and our inner thighs, and our abdominal line. Got 10 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Let that leg rest for a second. Take a soft breath. Now we're flipping back onto our back. The roll of blanket, roll of towel, foam roller, whatever tool you like is going to be under your butt. Sometimes when we do our hip bridge, we're focused on the up, the going up. This time we're going to focus a little bit on the going down with a bump to the tool, and then you're popping back up, but it's going to be that sort of fast and furious work again. So you're going to come down onto your back, lift your butt up, get your roll of blanket, your foam roller, or your pillow underneath your hips and underneath your butt. First things first, make sure that feels comfortable enough. Take a moment just to feel into that tool underneath you and take a breath. Hands wherever they feel most helpful to either provide support or clear out of the way. So where your hands are going to land is going to be what feels good to you. And then I'll also offer dorsiflex your feet, pull up the toes and the balls of the feet. That's going to put a little tug on that inner line of fascia. And then we're going to bump the roll of towel. So go for that fast and furious, but it's light. It's not muscly. We're not trying to go with that exhale and lift up and squeeze. We're just coming up and down. And you want to go for a nice fast pace. Again, arms wherever they feel the best. Supportive, or just clear them out of the way. Dorsiflex the feet. That's going to feel good, but you're going to start to feel it a little bit into the fronts of your shins. 10 more seconds of that fast and furious work, and then we'll take a second to take a break. All right, rest your butt onto your tool. Take a second, soften your feet, take a breath. And then if you feel ready for it, dorsiflex your feet, pick your butt back up, and then come back to that fast and furious work. So you're touching your butt to your tool and then coming right away from it. You got 10 seconds left, as fast as you can for these last 10 seconds. Woo, and time. Let your butt settle down. Slide your right leg long, stretch your left arm up above your head. Take a nice big breath. Switch arms. Keep that right leg out nice and long. Stretch your right arm up above your head. Switch legs. Keep your right arm up above your head. Send your left leg nice and long. Take that nice yawning, reaching stretch. Switch arms. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches up. Same hand, same foot. Stretch that nice yawning, reaching stretch. Awesome. Now all limbs together, both legs long, both arms up above your head. Point your toes, spread your fingers, take an inhale, and you reach out to the edges of your body with that inhalation. And then as you exhale, invite a little bit of softness in. All right, walk your feet back in, take your time. We're going to lift the butt up, move that tool out from underneath you, and then let your back have a moment to settle. So sometimes in those supported hip bridge positions, we just want to give the nervous system and those back muscles just a moment to kind of desensitize to the work that you were just doing. Bring your right knee into your chest. Take your right knee and just draw it in a couple of circles. Circle the other way. Lovely. Set that foot down, switch sides. Bring your left knee into your chest. Take that left knee, draw it in a couple of circles. Circle the other way. And then bring both knees into the chest. Take both knees, draw them in a couple of gentle circles. and then circle the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to a seated position and then grab your foam roller. With our foam roller, we're going to start with the foam roller underneath our calves. But if you have tender calves and you're like, well, I would rather use my roll of blanket or roll of towel, that can be a really nice alternate for your foam roller. So grab your foam roller or just stick with that rolled up blanket. Placing it right up underneath our calf muscles. And then once you've got it there, we're doing a little bit more of that fast and furious work. So a little space between the legs, a comfortable upper body, and you're just going to start to point your toes, but it's that fast and furious work. So it's not about getting that long edge of the stretch. It's just coming in and out of it with a nice fluttery action. Find that good bouncy rhythm. You're going to feel your calf muscles kind of resting on it, and it's going to get that nice myofascial release into the calves. Bye, Judy. I hope you have a great day. All right, now similar action, but as if you're dorsiflexing the feet, and you're just going to try to pull the toes towards you. And that one takes me a second to find that good rhythm. So just allow for that little bit of wiggle room to learn. One more moment there, and then point your toes and get that long, reachy stretch down to your toes, all the way through the shoelaces, fronts of the shins. Take a nice big breath. And then let it soften and just swish your feet from side to side. Let your calf muscles just roll across the foam roller. All right, now move it down towards your Achilles tendon, somewhere around the end of your calf muscle Achilles tendon area, and then swish from side to side. And for this one, I think like one at a time, just because it's kind of a convenient way to get it to go on. So you're going to kind of spin off to one side so that the inside, let's say the inside of your right foot and ankle is a little bit compressed on the foam roller. And then slow point and flex of that right foot. One more moment there. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. So spin yourself so that the inside of your left ankle comes into the roller, and then point and flex your foot there. Nice. One more moment there. And then come back to center, walk the foam roller up so it comes a little above the meaty curve of your calf muscle. And then once you've got it there, rock your legs from side to side. Now for the next one, we do want just a little bit of space between our legs, because we're going to go, it's a little work in the inner thighs, and you kind of, if you can, put your hands to your inner thighs, and you're going to roll in, roll out, roll in, roll out, and you're going to go for that nice fast and furious movement. But as you do that little toe in, turn out, you want to feel like there's a little bit of action happening in your inner thighs. So hands to the inner thighs, just to be like, okay, I've got it. And then you take it away. Just as I find it, I lose it. So get your legs turning in and out. And you really want to feel like you're just kind of bouncing that fascia of your inner thighs. Take one more second to find a little pace, and then we're going to walk that foam roller right up underneath the pits of our knees, come into that slight forward position, and smush, smush, smush. One more little smush, 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 and then we're just going to take a gentle fold towards our feet. Does not matter if you can touch your feet. We're just softly folding, and mostly you want to feel like maybe there's just a little touch of a gentle stretch into your low back. And once you feel like you're there, just take a nice big breath. come up and out of your fold. We're going to move that foam roller so now it kind of hugs up against the backs of your thighs, and you're just going to do a couple little drags in and out. So you want to feel like it just kind of creates a little heat and warmth into the backs of your thighs. You can lay all the way down onto the ground or just stay in a more upright position. Next up, we're going to go into a little zigzag seat, a little mermaid work, and a little lymphatic drag across the abdomen. So just whatever comfortable seat gets you where you want to go next. All right, once you feel that little bit of heat coming into the backs of your legs, take a second just to notice it and then let it come to stillness. Now we're going to spin around to our zigzag seat. So for me, I'm going to say right leg in front, left leg out to the side, foam roller off on the right. And now we take our mermaid. So we roll on out, get that nice long side body reach, and then firm arm, come back up and take a counter stretch over to the other side. Hand to the roller, roll out, get that nice long reach. Come back up, counter stretch over to the other side. Beautiful. One more time with that roll out. Roll out, get that nice long reach. Come back up, take your counter stretch. All right, now we're going to go into a little twist. So you're going to rotate towards the foam roller. If you can achieve it, doesn't matter if you can't. If you can achieve it, we're going to maybe walk the foam roller out so it can come underneath your forehead. So you're going to get a little bit of rotation. You might stop there and you're going to see if maybe your head could rest on the foam roller. And if you can get your forehead to rest on the foam roller, you're going to do little bobblehead, like you're just kind of getting a little rotational movement against your skin of your forehead. So forehead's going to rest on the foam roller. And then you're going to do this little bobblehead maneuver. Let the bobblehead come to stillness. Take a breath. All right, and then use your arms. Help yourself come up nice and slow. You're going to spin your legs out in front of you. You're going to take the foam roller and bring it right across the belly button line of your abdomen. And then you're just going to do that nice lymphatic drag. Drag across your abdomen. Soothe that line of fascia. Clear out any channels of lymph. Get that nice good warmth coming across your belly. And then once you feel nice and warm, take your foam roller, spin it off to the other side, and adjust your zigzag seat. And then once you've got the left leg in front, right leg out to the side, foam rollers over on that left side, then we take it back to that mermaid. We stretch out nice and long. And then we come back up slow and controlled and take that counter stretch. Beautiful. Stretch out nice and long. Come back up, counter stretch. Stretch out nice and long. Come back up, counter stretch. And now we take it into that rotational movement. So we twist, hands find the roller. Sometimes one side just might be different than the other. So it might be a high position. You might come just a little bit low. And if you can get your forehead to touch the foam roller, lovely. And then once you're there, you're going to take that little bobblehead maneuver, getting that little bit of rotational work up against the fascia of your forehead. Let your bobblehead come to stillness. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, slowly come up and away from that fold and that twist, return to center, swing your legs out in front of you, bring that foam roller back across your abdomen and come back to that lymphatic drag. Nice. One more moment there. Now, next up, we're going to go into, we're going to put the foam roller so it comes underneath our jaw, like that masseter muscle. And then I'm going to offer a 2-for-1 special where you do a toe spreader. But for some of our bodies, getting both of those things to coordinate might be like kind of a you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So the way that I say set it up is you kind of put your foam roller where you're going to want your masseter, that nice meaty jaw muscle, to land. And then you're going to see if you can bring your outer upper leg up, and you're going to interlace your fingers between the toes of that foot. And that might take a second. And then if you go, well, I don't want to work on my foot, I'd just rather do the jaw. And then you're going to see if you find a place where this can conveniently land, where you don't feel like you're putting your ankle in a compromised position. So for me, I just kind of stack it up on my inner thigh, and then I'm just getting a nice gentle hold. Masseter muscle onto the foam roller. And then once you've got your way there, keeping in mind that for our line of fascia, we have connection points from our jaw to our shoulders, to our hips, to our big toes. So we're just kind of playfully finding some connection points to that line of fascia. So get your jaw muscle on there, get your toe spreader. If you can achieve both at the same time, awesome. And then you're going to see if you can just do some smushy lips. So keep your mouth closed and smush your lips from side to side. One more smushy lips from side to side, and then just little gentle nod of your head up and down. You still want to keep that masseter muscle connected to the foam roller. And you're just doing a little tilt of the head up and a little tilt of your head down. One more moment moving the head up and down, and then let that come to stillness. And now we're going to do the big open and close of the jaw. One more big open and close of your jaw, and then let that all come to stillness. Just take a moment to notice your jaw. Notice if you're holding tension in the space between your eyebrows, because Jessica's asking you to do a bunch of weird stuff and you're like, what's she even about? So take a moment just to notice where you're at. Take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, slowly release your fingers from between your toes, give your toes a little twinkle. And then, of course, we're taking all of that work to the other side. Spin yourself around in a way that makes good sense. I'm spinning myself around, so I'm facing out to you. Foam roller where you can land your jaw muscle on. And then we see how we can get a hold of our feet and our toes in a comfortable and reasonable way. So I go for the lift the leg up. Then you find the toe spreader. And then you find a nice place for that leg to land. And then once you've got a comfortable enough position, find that jaw. Notice your breath. And then you're just going to see if you can find that little gentle nod of your head up and down. All right, and then when you're ready, take it into the smushy lips, just kissing your lips from side to side, but keeping your mouth closed. One more moment with the kissy lips, and then when you're ready, take it into that big open and close of your mouth. One more big open and close. And then let it come to stillness. Any little micro movements that might feel good, take a second to find them. And then that stillness, just so you can take the time to notice. Notice if you can soften your jaw a little bit. Can you soften the space between your eyebrows? Can you take a nice, slow, comfortable breath? Great. And then when you're ready, slow release fingers from between the toes, release that leg, give your foot a little twinkle, bring yourself up nice and slow, take your time. And then we're going to pop our butt right up onto the roller. So spin yourself around. So now we've worked from the jaw down to the toes, and then we've got from the jaw to the shoulders, to the hips, to the knees, to the feet. We have that nice fascial line of connection. So now we're just going to hit the hips. So you're just going to start to take it into that roll across the glutes, taking it from side to side at a nice gentle pace. The next time you come over to the right side, stay there and take a few rolls up and down. One more good roll up and down, and then find a nice sweet spot on that side of the glute that feels good and go into that butterfly flap, just lifting up and down. In a moment, we're going to spin off and get into that IT band just a little bit. But before we spin off and get into it, come up, grab the thigh, and just give it a good old twist and turn on the bone. Let the muscle be a little bit soft. Let your hands do the work. One more good twist and turn, and then we're just going to try to get that side of the thigh to kind of land flush against the foam roller. So spin yourself off, get it onto the foam roller, and then you're just going to see if you can find a little gentle rocking motion. And then if the gentle rocking motion feels good and you just want that little extra compression, hand to the inside of the leg, and we rock and press. So we do the gnocchi, we're making our gnocchi, and we're rocking. One more moment there. And then when you're ready, come up and away, and we're going to take everything over to the other side, rolling across to that left glute, and then just taking some nice good rolls up and down. One or two more rolls up and down, and then find that sweet spot where it feels like you're just like on that nice side of the glute, and then let that inner left leg get that nice butterfly flap. One more butterfly flap, and then come through center so that you can grab that meat of the muscle and then give it a little twist and turn on the bone. Awesome. One more twist and turn on the bone, and then get that side of your thigh flush up against the roller best you can. And then once you've got your way there, a little bit of rocking motion. For some of us, that's enough. But for some of us, it feels nice to get that little added bit of compression. So if that added bit of compression, we take our hand and push into the inner thigh. So we get that nice little smush of that IT band, that nice thick fascia against the side of the thigh that keeps our thigh in its thigh shape. And we're just giving it that nice, good stimulation. Lovely. Take one more moment there. Maybe give it a pause just to take a breath and notice. Hopefully it feels a little bit warmer. And then when you're ready, come on through, take a second. We're going to hop our butt right up and off, and then take it right into the upper back body. So Broad line, low end of the rib cage onto the foam roller. Pick up and roll. Hands behind the head or hands flying free. Go for the positioning of your upper body and hands that feels good to you. I always like to clear out my ponytail so it's not getting steamrolled under the foam roller. Couple more gentle rolls here, and then we're going to go into the soft curve of the neck. So you're going to float your butt down, get the foam roller underneath the soft curve of your neck, and then slow and gentle head turns. The next time your head's turned to the right, stay there and add a little gentle nod of the head up and down. And then once you've done just enough there, turn your head to the left and add some gentle nods of the head up and down. One more gentle nod there, and then we're moving it on up. So we were in the soft curve of the neck. Now move it up to the occipital ridge, finding that nice skull bony prominence, and then turn your head from side to side again, slow motion. The next time your head's turned to the right, stay there, a gentle nod up and down. When you're ready, turn your head to the left, stay there, gentle nod up and down. One more gentle nod up and down, and then come back to center. Take a moment just to take a nice big breath. Reduce effort for a moment. Notice how your body feels. All right, and then slowly bring yourself up. Now I'm going to say comfortable seat or saddle position so that you get that space between the sits bones and the crack. We get those muscles that are right up in there. So if that saddle seat feels comfortable enough, sit like you're sitting on a horse. If that's just not the comfortable position, especially for some of our knees, that's just not great. And some of our shoelaces. So just know that there's definitely room for improvement if you need a little bit of spacing. You could put your blanket to give a little bit of lift. So you could sit in that saddle position, but add a little space. So go where it feels comfortable, but then we're going to take our mind off of that. You're going to grab like middle arch of your eyebrow and you're going to give it a little twist. So you're going to pick it up, pinch it, and give it a little twist. And then you're going to intentionally blink your eyes about 10 times. And then once you've done about 10 blinks, then you're going to pinch and twist the other direction and do about 10 intentional blinks. And then once you've done about 10 blinks there, just smooth that eyebrow out. And we're going to take it to the other side. Grab approximately that high arch of your brow, give it a little pinch, a little twist, hold it, intentionally blink your eyes about 10 times. And then once you've done about 10 blinks there, pinch, twist the other direction, hold that, and intentionally blink your eyes. And then once you've done about 10 there, smooth that eyebrow out. Take a second just to give your whole face a little twinkle, a little wiggle. flip yourself forward into a light tabletop position. We're going to come up through a little down dog stretch. We're going to grab that foam roller and move it right in front of our shoelaces and then give it the good old steamroll. So spin that foam roller around and then just start to steamroll from the toes to the ankles. Three lymphatic drags up the shins. Push in, drag it up towards your knees, lift off, take it back down. Push in, drag it up, lift off, take it down. Push in, drag it up, lift off, take it down. Drag it up your shins, lightly over the knees. Push in, drag up the thighs, pick it up. Push in, drag it up. One more time, push in, drag it up. We're going to return that foam roller to the ground. So take it back down to the ground, leave it there, come up to standing position, and then 1 foot on, 1 foot off. Nice soft roll. Take a second to just gently roll out the bottom of your foot. I'm really hopeful at this point in the work that you feel very alive all the way out to the edges of your body. If you don't, we should have a chat. We'll find better work for you. But hopefully you feel just like good and loose and alive. All right, bring it to the middle of the foot and do that nice pivot. Wake up that plantar fascia. Get it nice and warm and stimulated. All right, when you're ready, take it up into the ball toe mound. Keep the toes in a gentle lift and pivot. Beautiful. When you're ready, take it to your heel, press down with a little bit of firmness and pivot. Wonderful. One more pivot there and then set that foot down and just for a moment, notice 1 foot compared to the other. And then when you're ready, put your other foot on, get that nice soft roll going on. Beautiful. Bring it to the middle of the foot and pivot. Take it up to the ball of the foot, lift your toes just a touch and pivot. Nice. And then bring it to your heel with a nice firm press and pivot. Beautiful. One more second there and then put that foot down. And then the last bit of work, we're just going to open up our armpits. So a little cup of the hands and just pat, 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 pat around one armpit, stimulate those lymph nodes, get that underarm fascia alive and awake. And then once you've banged around that armpit just enough, take it over to the other side. Cup your hand and then just pat, pat, pat around that armpit. Because BKS Iyengar says we can't be depressed if we have open armpits. This is my favorite thought to think these days. All right, take one more moment to pat, pat, pat that armpit and then just give everything that good etch-a-sketch, shake it all out, make sure everything feels good. You guys are amazing. Nice work today.